I'm sure you have already seen some of your favorite YouTubers doing that. Don't doubt it. It's because they got paid. The funniest part is that Osmo Gold actually openly admitted it.
They actually sponsored me to watch the trailer. Believe it or not. Everybody has complained about my reacts. Well, guess what? I'm getting sponsored to fucking react. That's the world that we're living in right now, boys.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is your Chinese fish-head peasant spy Fei. Starting from Genshin Impact, the world began to pay more attention to games from China. Then came Black Myth Wukong, which seemed to push everything to a new high. After that, a bunch of Chinese game trailers with seemingly great quality came out, and it feels like Chinese games are heading in a good direction. Recently, a new game from NetEase called Blood Message Tang got a ton of attention, thanks to its impressive visuals and the unique Chinese cultural background, which feels very fresh to foreign audiences. It received a lot of views and positive feedback on platforms like YouTube. Many players said they were looking forward to it and expressed their support for Chinese games. As a Chinese gamer and also a game developer, of course I feel happy about this. First, because I really want to see Chinese games improve. And second, because for various messy reasons, it's honestly not easy to see positive feedback about China or Chinese stuff on foreign platforms, But in sharp contrast to all the praise overseas, this game trailer actually got mocked and ridiculed in Chinese platforms. The attitude of Chinese players is completely different from that of the foreign players. I've translated some for you, feel free to pause and check them out. This one is my favorite. For the NetEase, a AAA game means Android and Apple. So today, let me once again be your spy and let's see what really happened that made players so against this game. Let's go! Actually, it's not so much about the game itself, but more about the developer, NetEase. More specifically, NetEase's Thunderfire Studio, or even more specifically, NetEase's marketing department. NetEase is the second largest game company in China, only behind Tencent. Before trying to break into single-player games, they developed a lot of commercially successful online games, like 梦幻西游, 阴阳师, and so on. They also make games based on other IPs, like the recent popular Marvel Rivals, and they also publish the foreign games in China, like the Blizzard series and Minecraft. They are infamous among Chinese players for their over-the-top monetized system, like gacha, pay-to-win mechanics, and they've basically perfected the art of getting people to spend more money, to the point that even government media has called them out multiple times. But at the same time, other companies look up to them because those tactics work. Crazy profitable. Their game business brings in 70 to 80 billion RMB in revenue each year. That's one big reason why China hasn't really produced any notable single-player games, because making single-player games just isn't profitable. Take Genshin Impact for example. It made more in 6 months than Zelda Breath of the Wild did in total. Now let me explain a little why Chinese players, or at least a portion of them, are so obsessed with single-player games, even though they don't make as much money. Of course, it's the same reason players around the world love them. Better visuals, higher quality, better experience. They let us fully immerse ourselves in another world and other culture, to live a different kind of life. But sadly, we've never really had a game like that of our own, until Black Myth Wukong suddenly appeared and exploded on the internet, both in China and internationally. It made a previously unknown indie studio famous worldwide. It also got full policy support during its release. Though there were some controversies along the way, in the end it became a huge success both in name and profit. This gave a big boost of confidence to all the other people and companies who were thinking about making single-player games. It gave Chinese gaming a much-needed shoot of adrenaline just when things were starting to look a little bleak. After that, a wave of Chinese game trailers followed, many with strong visuals and great potential. Everyone started to get hopeful again. That includes games from NetEase. Actually, Blood Message isn't their first so-called single-player game. Last year, they released Where Wind Meets, which was hyped up as the second college student from the village after Black Mass Wukong, and had high expectations. But just to make more money, they turned it into a cross-platform release including Android and iOS. Yeah, this is why they left that comment. AAA game means Android and Apple. Yeah. That obviously forced them to downgrade the graphics and performance. They also added an online co-op similar to Genshin, which ruined the single-player feel. In the end, the traditional single-player fans felt the gameplay lacked impact, and too many monetization traps, and the UI was a mess. Meanwhile, MMO players felt it was too hard, so they ended up pleasing no one. To make things worse, they run ridiculous ads like the only real wuxia game is the Where Wind Meet, and Where Wind Meet redefining AAA game. Yes, they say it themselves, not from players, which came off as arrogant and out of touch. Then they switched from single player to online midway and started selling skins and items. Yeah, like since they always do. This completely destroyed players' trust in domestic single-player games. They've done this kind of things countless times. As long as shareholders see pretty charts, it doesn't matter how disgusting the marketing is or how unreasonable the game changes are. And the truth is, they did get successful data-wise. In 2024, their game revenue was 83.6 billion RMB. So this time they went with the same old marketing tricks, using arrogant slogans like "This will surpass Black Myth Wukong in real-world impact," which basically felt like a slap in the face, especially considering the Black Myth Wukong developer Feng Ji had just shared the trailer to support them. That made everything super awkward. And of course, they spent tons of money hiring influencers to make videos and articles hyping up the game. I'm sure you have already seen some of your favorite YouTubers doing that. Don't doubt it, it's because they got paid. The funniest part is that Osmo Gold actually openly admitted it.
They actually sponsored me to watch the trailer, believe it or not.
So yeah, it's not really surprising that the game got roasted so hard in China. I won't even bother listing all the other shady things NetEase has done with their other games. And to be clear, I'm not saying that they shouldn't advertise their games, but if you choose to advertise it in this kind of way, you better be ready for the backlash. Yeah. So yeah, because of their inhuman marketing tactics, now almost no one is talking about Blood Message as a game. Even though the trailer actually looks decent and has a lot of interesting stuff worth analyzing, players are ignoring all of that and just focusing on bashing NetEase as a game company. Honestly, the way to fix this is pretty simple. Just shut up, finish the game properly, release real gameplay footage, and let the game speak for itself. Make us want to pay with our hearts. But as I'm doing this video, they are still constantly posting responses to mockery and criticism. But it's just the more self-hype and empty price themselves, which only makes players even more annoyed. Alright, after all that gossip about the game company and the interesting online drama in the Chinese game community, let's go back to the game itself. As a player and a developer, I really do want to see Chinese games that can tell our own stories and show our culture. I've said many times that I'd love to play an Assassin's Creed set in China, but because of all the stuff Ubisoft's done, I've given up on that hope. Companies like Tencent and NetEase actually do have the money and the talent to make great games. I've watched the Blood Message trailer many times, and I really think it looks good. If they can actually pull off the things shown in the trailer, that would be insane. Whether the demo or final release lives up to that level, we'll have to wait and see. Also, the total opposite actions from Chinese and foreign players made me realize something. Maybe because of language and cultural differences, we are more tolerant of foreign games and more willing to focus on the game itself rather than the gospel or social baggage behind the company. And that might actually be a good thing for game companies. Just like how we are naturally more accepting of Western or Japanese games, people still tend to have some distrust toward domestic ones. I often get comments from American players saying they only play Japanese or European games and look down on American ones. It's a funny phenomenon. Unless there's too much forced DI stuff that actually hurts the game experience. Most players aren't that harsh. Yeah. In the end, I just hope that both Chinese and international developers can give more respect to the games themselves and to the players. Because for players, games aren't just money-making tools. They are unique experiences. What we want is actually really simple, just fun games. And by the way, there's another Chinese game recently that got massive attention by stirring up gender conflicts. It's super controversial, and there's a lot of complicated social issues behind it. If you're interested, just leave a like and a comment to let me know. And in the next episode, I will continue being your spy and explore the Chinese game community, looking at these events from different perspectives to figure out what's really going on and what impact they have. I will also keep making videos about the cultural and social difference from time to time so we can explore more side of the world. Talking to people from different countries has really helped me see the world in new ways. I believe that's how we truly get to understand the world better. If you like the way I see things, don't forget to follow. Your support is my biggest motivation to keep going. So that's all for today's video. Thanks for watching. So as always, if I make any mistakes that confuse you, please correct me. Thanks for your support. So until next time, stay safe and stay positive, and peace. Bye bye.